Oh, hey, welcome back. I haven't filmed anything for a while because we've been on this last minute scramble getting this thing ready, but I'm ready to reveal. Oh wow, fantastic camera work. What do you think? Looks pretty good, right? I didn't do a great job all weekend of recording stuff, so I'm just going to narrate and tell you what you're about to see. So I started out Friday, thanks to Winning Formula. They put on a Friday test session, so we got to do 8 sessions, 20 minutes lapping sessions, and I needed every one of them to try and sort all the little issues we have, or had. We started off with an ABS issue, took all morning to figure that out, so we got basically no useful laps in the morning. And then it was just a ton of other little issues. So I'll show you, I think my best lap from lapping on Friday, I was chasing Luke most of the day and didn't really get a great lap, and I was still learning the track. But I'll share that lap now and then we'll carry on. So that was my second lap on street tires, and I was really encouraged by them. They are not quite as forgiving as the R7s. Maximum grip seems as much, although they fall off, which you're going to see coming up. They just can't handle the heat of more than a lap or two. So I wasn't displeased with that time for my first day at NCM. It was a 2:14.7. And that would put us in the mix of the top 10, I figured. And the car felt so much better than Coda, and not necessarily handling, but power. Like we got it absolutely dialed to the horsepower number, and it almost felt too fast. And I was concerned about acceleration rates. So luckily the data backed it up that, I mean, it was still one of the fastest, if not the fastest straight line car, which is what I thought I built in the first place. But it wasn't egregious, it wasn't out of line. So I'm excited to get it back on the dyno at Gingerman to confirm that it's right where it's supposed to be. And the street tires sure were nice to start a race, so, and for qualifying. And that's really going to be, I think, the route I go for the rest of the year, because I don't know. I'll be playing back and forth. I don't want to use up Hoosiers because I don't really have the money to be spending on testing new tires and stuff. So I guess we'll figure out. Maybe on a hot day we'll run Hoosiers in the future, but I'm not sure yet. But I've got a tune for the Hoosiers, but we do take an 11 horsepower hit to run those. So we'll see what happens. But next you're going to see, that was the end of Friday. We fought through tons of issues, but ended on a positive note, and I was very encouraged to show some form of speed. And I knew, just, you can see in that video, that it was not a perfect lap by any stretch. So basically I stayed up all night Friday night thinking about how to improve my speed, because I knew how important qualifying was going to be at a track like this where passing is so difficult, unless you're Tom O'Gorman or Eric Cotillo. Those guys are like monsters working through the field. But I knew how important qualifying was going to be, so I racked my brain all night thinking about and reviewing video and trying to decide how I could go faster. So luckily, I believe the next thing you're going to see, although I forgot to put a memory card, I think, back in for qualifying. So luckily I have a new rear view camera that not only records the rear, but it records the front view too. So we'll be switching back and forth from views, but hopefully I've got everything recorded. Dang it! My card filled up, so it started rewriting over itself, so I don't have any of the qualifying. But here's how it happened. It was so exciting. Actually, it was exciting. I went out, I got to grid first. That was my goal. I wanted clean air. I knew I did not want to fight traffic, because I'd run over somebody if they got in my way. I'd get pretty upset about that. So I knew I wanted to get out front. But Aaron Lichty pulled up, and I was like, dude, there's no way I'm as fast as him. So I just let him go ahead of me, and then I pulled out second. And we went out, and like by turn 5, I probably gave him like a 5-6 car gap heading up to start finish. And by like turn 5, I was all over him, and I couldn't believe it. I knew I was on the street tires and he was on Hoosier, so I knew I'd be a little bit faster probably, but I didn't think I was even in his realm for what speed would be there. So first lap, I ended up just backing way off and letting him go so I could get a gap. Second lap, I had enough gap. I got a pretty clean lap, and I looked down, and it was a 2:13.1. 1.6 seconds faster than my best the day before. And most of that's attributed to learning what I was doing wrong and improving that for qualifying. So I rolled back, I pulled off right after that lap. I knew the street tires wouldn't be any better the next lap, and there was no reason to continue pushing. So plus I was pretty sure I was pole. I was like, man, that was fast. And I was really, really happy. And wouldn't you know, I get back, and my buddies are like, hey, good job, Andy got ya. Andy Smedegard, it's like his existence is just to piss me off, and he's good at it. He's really good at it. But I have so much respect for that guy, for his work ethic. But this isn't about Andy Smedegard. This is about Jeremy Swenson Racing. Anyway, so he got me by like 0.3. And the two of us were, I think, over a second over the third place. So it kind of looked like it was going to come down to he and I through the races. And I sure hope I have some race footage to show you, because the first race was pretty devastating, and you're going to find out here in just a second. If I find it. I'm going to find out in a second. So there was the first race. We were leading, had a nice gap on Andy, and with the street tires coming in nice like they do, I was able to get a good gap on him right away. Starting the second lap, shifted from third to fourth, and fourth gear was still third gear, as you noticed in the video. And then it was just a matter of playing around, trying to figure out what's going on, and just get out of the way. And I really, apparently, should have just stayed going in third gear and tried to finish the race, but I don't like that idea really getting in people's way either and possibly causing a problem for someone else. And so I decided just to pull off. I got out of the way enough to let people by and then was able to get it rolling again in third gear and get it back to the pits. And I figured my weekend was done. But so today started off perfect. It went exactly how I hoped. Well, almost exactly. We got qualified second, and we got an early lead in the first race. And we were pulling away, going ahead, starting the second or third lap. And then things did not go our way, and here we are. So transmission is all third gear right now. No matter what we do, it's third gear. So thanks to that guy, we have a spare transmission, and we've got all the stuff a guy could hope for. He's got like the quick jacks to get this thing up in the air enough. He's got all the other little jacks and all the other tools that we needed to basically, what did it take us? Hour and a half? Hour? 45 minutes? So we're to this point now. We're going to toss this pristine C5Z transmission in and cross our fingers because we're on the pole tomorrow. If we get it running. So thank you guys. We've got Ethan and Matt who manages the track, who's been awesome, got us a bunch of goodies, and Adam, who's basically made all this happen because I wouldn't have gone this far without him. So thank you guys. Why would you help Jeremy do this? Who wants to take that?
I want to see you win, buddy.
Oh.
Hate to see people miss out on track time.
Oh. And Ethan helps everyone. Ethan's in it for the steak, but he's getting free pizza tonight. So thanks guys, I appreciate it. So that was a pretty cool feeling, having some friends help out, and not just help out, like basically I would have been headed home had it not been for Adam. So thanks Adam for coming prepared for yourself, and turns out you prepared for me. So thank you so much. You helped save my weekend. And same to Matt and Ethan. It was awesome having help, and that's part of what track friends are all about, is the camaraderie and the friendship, and even competitors will often help you, and it's a great feeling. Anyway, so after we got that done, took about 2 to 2.5 hours start to finish. We lowered the car, and Matt who's the track manager there at NCM, was kind enough to let me go run out on the track real quick, really quietly, and just buzz around through the gears and make sure everything worked. And it did. And upside, now I have reverse gear. Before, I barely had reverse. Like, it was, you had to ram it in and hold it there with all your power, and you just barely get a tiny little bit of reverse, and it was not good. So that is something we're going to fix here once we get it all apart and ready to go. But that was a really cool feeling. Sun was setting and we're cruising around the track. I'm cruising around the track by myself, going through the gears, thinking about how lucky I am to A, do this, and B, have made so many great friends that would do what they've done to help me and get me back on track. The other positive news here is that single lap that I got in the first race was good enough, even with a slow roll start, to qualify second for the second race, because the second race grid position is based on your fastest lap from the first race. And so that worked out really good. So our second race start, we would be basically repeating the race start from the first one. We would be outside pole following Andy. So here we go. I think I might have that race, I hope. So there you have it. I was pretty kind to Andy there on that pass. Let him well, I didn't let him by. He was much faster through whatever turn that was. I was definitely not as fast on that back section of the track as he was. Perhaps I could have learned something from following him more, but I think more it had to do with the strengths of his car versus my car. Mine was clearly faster in a straight line, and his was clearly faster in the corners, especially the back half corners. So second place wasn't too bad. I was pretty thrilled to finish the race at the very least, and he and I were showing pace that most others weren't able to accomplish, other than a few other guys. Like Tom got buried in the pack, so he wasn't really able to show his speed, which he didn't find until like race 3 and 4. So anyway, I was very much encouraged by that race, even though finishing second. And if you stick around for the next video, things might improve. So again, thank you for watching. Smash buttons. Love you. Bye.